Okay, so it's almost 5 o'clock, and last night was a rough. I'm turning into a dog. Rough, man, night. God damn. Like, I don't know. It must be the whatever their X flare things. Oh, yeah, and there's this weird footage too. Like, there's weird stuff in the sky with the moon. Like, I don't know. It's going in and out in one video. It's in another video, something that looks kind of like a moon or a ship is moving a cloud. Like, there's like it's just weird stuff going on. And I want to talk more about like that this mom and talk like I could tell it was like this Custard's Last Stand over here on TikTok. You could just see it. You could just see the energy. I don't know. I can see trends before they happen or something. Like, I don't know. I can see stuff before it happens. And so I could see this coming with the mom and tot situation, and I could see it blowing up. But like I said, I wasn't sure like what side she was on, because when you see her or you hear her, like the first time I ever did, I don't know. I mean, stereotypically, with her Southern draw and her conservative attitude, I would thought she seemed like, like the Southern Belle conservative kind of attitude thing. But that she would be a conservative. And so she just, gave me that feel. I didn't think anything because I'm not familiar with her. I've only like seen her, but she's so popular over there that so when something goes down, everybody starts talking about it. So then you see all these videos, these people talking about it, and then it's like, well, what the hell is going on? And then you start figuring out, okay, so she's disappointed a bunch of people. And then thinking about who are the people who get so disappointed. Like, they need a group. That letter thing, is thinking about it, it's so trippy too, because it's the same thing with religion. How it's this part of their reality that's going to blow up. And so like the religious people have this thing too. Like, I'm not saying one group is better or ahead or anything. They both have something big that is about to collapse in their reality. And the people over here that are so attached to, it's like a group think. It's like because that's what went on, was like mom taught went out of their range. Oh, like that counselor, the marriage counselor who had told me that my ex-husband, that he couldn't, number two, he couldn't see me other than how he imagined me. So he could only see his fantasy of me. And when I wouldn't live to his fantasy of me, that I was the disappointment. I was, there's something wrong with me. Like, because the person he had invented in his mind was the real person. I was the real Kelly. And oh, that is trippy too, because he did have years of hanging out with me where it was, I'm sure, and I was a vision in his mind. I already know. But in that time period is when he created the fantasy person of me, I'm sure. God, man, there's so much toxic shit in our fucking lives that we don't even realize. Relationships and stuff, they're not pure, man. We got to get back to purity, connection. And it only can stem from our own integrity, That's why all this shit has to break down, because we've gotten so far from who we are. I mean, it's kind of disturbing how there's such a lack of integrity in our world, and how people are just want to capitalize off of others' suffering. Oh, and by the way, we are at war, just so you know. It's not just out there. It is like our own people that we pay taxes to. They are attacking us 100%, and it's getting more violent and more obvious. And you still have such a huge group of people who still protect them. And that is what is so wacky on this mom and tot thing. Because this blue group that does not want anyone, and I'm talking about the letter agency, not just, but at this point, I think that is so, I would say fucking the blue people who are probably left, or if they're not bisexual, they're sure open to it. So they're just like, and I don't want to say like people are lost because they're gay or something. That's not at all what I'm saying. But they've taken gayness to a whole new level. They've made it about the gayness. They've lost love. It's about sex. It's about being gay. It's about hating that group and being divisive. Oh, women suck. Men suck. I'll just do it with it. You know, it's gone. It's taken mental. It's gone out of control. That's why it's all popping off. That's why it's reached its end. It's reached a block. And that's what, we're seeing the sparks fly as it hits into the wall over and over. It's boom, sparks, boom, sparks. So it's going to be electrified as this stuff is going down because people are so heavy into it. You got to think about each person's energy is so rocket on some of this stuff. They are so tied in. And then as it's going, it's just blowing. It's like short circuiting people's minds. Like they can't deal with things not being as they think that they are, but it's about to get so much worse. And especially for this group because they are so fucking fragile. The amount of fucking videos, like it's like mental illness. It's like, where in the world would you think different than, it's weird. When you see these men, like you may be feminine. That's fine and dandy. You're a feminine, small guy. I don't know your size or anything because I'm seeing a very limited image. But you are definitely making, whatever with the hair. You got the makeup. You got the crazy glasses. You got the earrings. You got the whole little ruffles and all this stuff. And then you're going out and you're wanting people to see you as something that they don't see you as. And then you are getting mad because they don't see you. Like these guys with fucking beards crying because someone misgendered them and called them sir. And then they go on and have a fucking field day on TikTok. And you would think, oh, well, that's just silly. That's just like, who's going to pay attention to that? Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. No, they all come to the rescue. Like, how dare the rest of us? How dare them? Like we are so ignorant. We are so cis. We are so whatever the fuck. It's fucking mental. And then, oh my God, yeah, there's like, coming out of the word work now. Now you got people wearing fucking animal masks to the store. It's like the fetish fucking weird shit, man. And, it does go in deeper, but no matter what you are here to experience what you are birthed into. That's what you are here to experience. For you to be told, well, I'm a horse, really. Well, maybe you've been a horse a whole bunch of times, and this is your time to be a human, and all you want to do is go back and be a horse. Like, but what? Like, get a grip on what the fuck you're doing here. God damn. God, I swear to God. It's just, oh. So the people, I'm kind of ranty. I see sometimes, see like Chiron or Bashar, which like there's weird stuff at the Bashar thing still. Like, I don't even know. Like, it was weird too, because before he even said it, it's supposedly he gave some kind of disclosure kind of thing. And it's fine, if you want to make prediction over who you think's going to win. But when you take it to another level, that you're talking to the people who see what's happening, and that only this one person that just happens to be blue, and they happen to be in charge of what information goes forward, that this one person is going to tell us the truth. This other guy, he's not going to tell us the truth. If we want disclosure, even though this guy's been telling us since he went in office and being laughed at that he's bringing the space thing in for us. Yeah, we're having a space thing. Like, he's taking it serious about what's out there in space and the communication and stuff. And he was told he had to hold off because all this stuff had to play out. But the other people are trying to hide it, still trying to tell us, that they're using landlines, calling the moon, and guys are landing it. Like, it's this absurd shit. It's so embarrassing too when you look back on that stuff and you think, like, we ever believed that there was a moon landing with the absurd bullshit that they told us. It's like it didn't take much. Just throw them a bone and they'll be fine. It's like, God, no wonder they think we're so stupid. They've fucking played us. They've played us hard, and they didn't use any Vaseline, man. So this guy, am I talking about a guy or am I talking about the people? Who the fuck am I talking about? Hold on, let me get a grip on what the fuck am I talking about. So the people, um, so the people, they, hold on, it's like a fucking scrambled egg right now. It's like I'm trying to dismantle scrambled eggs and make it back into an egg. Hold on. It's, well, okay. I'm just gonna pick up because it's all goes all in together. So, so will all make sense more because it's very scattered and it is very, it's so real. And it's like, you see, it's like pulling it all together. It's like this thing and everything's out there loose, but this thing is attaching it all and it's going to pull it all together. And yeah, and this fucking calm one's gonna bring it all together for us. Are you fucking kidding me? Now she's coked out, fucking her husband's insider trading and fucking murdering tens of thousands of people. I don't think it's up in the 100,000s, but it's definitely in the high tens. And for resources and land and the people who cheer them on. They are the fucking colonizers. And this is what I'm saying is these people are the ones who are out there, hey, you shouldn't be colonized, you shouldn't be this, you shouldn't be, like telling us all the rules. But then they don't even realize that you're breaking the goddamn fucking rules the whole goddamn time. You're supporting the people who are doing this stuff. And you're supporting them because you're so biased and you think this guy is the way that he's not. But you are so convinced and you are so sure that you will cheer, you will fucking applaud, you have a party because they've killed so many racists down this round. Thank you, Lord Jesus. No, they wouldn't be praying to Lord Jesus. I don't know who the fuck they pray to, the fucking liberal savior or whatever. Like, I'm not even sure. Like, they've got these people so jacked up on mental programming that these people, like, they don't even like think for themselves. Like, the thing that got me really going was last night. Like, I had to shut it down. I couldn't fucking, I was just like, this is pissing me the fuck off at this point. Like, are you fucking kidding me? So I was on there. And so the mom and tot thing just keeps going and going and going. And these people just fucking going back and forth. And there's more people who are jumping on and saying, seeing it from my perspective, like, what the fuck? And so there's a bunch of people, doing videos like that now from this other perspective. So you got several perspectives going in this situation. All things merging on this one point of origin. That's why he says, like, Custer's last stand. It's like this, I don't think it's going to be the last stand, but it's definitely a battle zone. And there's like a lot of perspective coming in and how it affects people if they can open their mind or see or figure it out or whatever. That's each person's thing. It's not my duty to go in and try and wake them all up or get them to see or something, but I'm not going to shut the fuck up about it. I said something. Usually I don't go in people's things when I don't agree with them. And, because I don't like that. People just come in and try and be a dick to me. Just, you don't like me, fine. Like, what the fuck? But so I did say something on these. And so, we're all a little hypocritical. So on these, so this was one of them was a comment on this one lady's thing. So both my comments were off this one lady's thing, because in the comments in her thing, or her post, but it is so fucking unhinged. These people are motherfucking unhinged. And so she is going off. She's in the flood zone. And to me, I don't know where for sure she is, but I was feeling like, okay, I think she's in Florida, or she's in a part where a hurricane really exists. It's very different for people who, are over here in these other places. They're being refused, but it's all a game because these people are being attacked. And these people too, like, they're about to go all in on this mountain. Like, and it's fucking tragic to watch this. Like, there's people trying to evacuate. There's like nowhere. There's no cars for rent. They've closed down the airports. Like, it's a fucking, this is horrible. And they've got the trucks out there as fast as they can trying to pick up all of this stuff off the streets because it's going to be projectiles going 150 miles an hour flying around, hitting into people's houses and cars. And people are like, this is horrible. And I guess it would be stupid to have a basement in a flood zone or something, but Jesus Christ, man, I don't even know, like, fuck. These storms, like, are fuck. It's just such fuckery. Yeah, I'm glad that my fucking, if I would have seen some of this clear, when I was just seeing stuff ahead and it doesn't, you don't see you don't feel it, you don't go through it, you just see it. And it's like looking at a movie or something, and then but you can see what's happening. But then when you get into it, and then it's like, fuck, I can see, like, if I would have been able to see and feel how bad, then it would have been horrible, like, leading up to it. But it was, it was okay leading up to it. But then now we're in it. It's like, God damn, this is fucking heavy. This is hard. Fuck, and it's sad, man. I used to get so sad. I just, something that just really tore me up as a kid is my dad. But it was like him. It was like his lifestyle and his choices. And I've just had this spiritual way of looking at things my whole life. And it was just like, how can you just live like that? How can you just waste your life like that? How can you not change? How can you, like, I just really was something that really, I felt so much compassion, like, towards these people who live in the dark. And I feel so bad, like, how do they have, where they see, I don't know, it is like all these dark energy holding them trapped. Yeah, because now I got that other girl, fuck, man, and God, she protects that dark energy. I just think there's some people who get so much dark energy around them, and it's very creepy. It's almost like listening to the creepy voices talk shit on people and then just sitting there and, because there is some shit talk, like I've told you before. Like, you can be, I could be in a group of people, and there's talking going on, and there's stuff said. And then sometimes, there's funny stuff, but there's this other that is very dark and mean, and it's conniving. It's a very dark energy, and it's represented in movies like by demons and what is that called? Demons and being what is that, like an exorcist or something, when it's inside of you or something, and it is like inside of you because you're feeding into that energy. And man, this is, I don't ever feel like I explain this in the way that how it really appears. I feel like that when people hear it, they hear it different than how I see it or how I try and explain it. But the dark energy is because the people bring it in. It's like they welcome it at different times, and they welcome it at different times of pain and struggle. So that's where you got to go back to release this dark energy. You got to go back and face, where you've been, what you've gone through, what attached this energy to you. Oh, what's something else too? That this came into my mind this morning. So this guy, I don't know who it is or anything. He just all of a sudden he found my account, but the one on TikTok. So he found my account, and I have over there it would seem like, oh yeah, because he was like, man, you have a lot of following and stuff. And it's like, fuck, dude, I'm so shadow banned. It's insane. You just watch and see what happens to this information when the shadow ban is released. And when I had said to him about being shadow banned, and I said, I've had the Secret Service come out and investigate me. I'm only allowed these 2 accounts. My other accounts always go down. So this account and TikTok, the other ones I get kicked off or whatever. And I have that Facebook one so I could go on Marketplace and then to see the pug stuff. But I don't go on and post or anything like that. It's like a dummy account. And it's just a viewership. So I don't, if I had an account on there I was trying to post, oh, I'm sure it would go down. Like, that is so fucking monitored there. It was like, I was kicked off there in 2015. And so the 2015 to 2016 in there. And no, it must have been 20. No, it was it right? It was right around the time of the the big drama in 2016. So it was around then. So anyways, but thinking about like that, of that is weird. They show up here investigating, because look at all this stuff. They're not going around investigating all these people, like how they pick and choose. And I have theories on it, but we'll see. But anyways, so the shadow ban thing, I think that is going to be once we get our rights back and we have open flow of information, and people are going to be more receptive to certain information. Because right now there's still there's a lot of I don't know. It's like when people run across my account, on the most part, they feel like, whoa, God, I'm glad I found your account. That's what I get most of the time. Sometimes you get these ones like Lisa come in and tell me, how much they don't like me, how I'm weird, and then some people don't get me, and they think like I'm just, they don't get me because I'm looking around, whatever, the different things. It's, but I'm just who I am. And this is who I am in person and stuff. And I think that is what draws people in, I swear, is just the fact that I can just be myself. I'm not overthinking what other people think about me. I don't give a fuck. I think it's weird, though, when people come in and try and spread hatefulness to you and try and make you feel bad. So I wasn't doing that to that lady, but I was definitely trying to call her out on what she was doing, trying to point out, like, what you're doing, lady. So this lady on this TikTok that I saw last night that really triggered me was, so she said, she's very pissed. She's motherfucking pissed. And she says that she's so irate. So this is how she's coming at it. And she's speaking to those people who are misinforming everybody about the 4-letter agency that starts with an F and it has an M in the middle, and an E and an A. So that 4-letter, we'll just call it the 4-letter agency that is getting so much attention right now. And the fucking show that's going on too, like the fucking bullshit, like it's so annoying. Kamala, her call to the mayor or whatever about, like, fucking lay off. Like, fuck off with this shit. They just had a black ops military helicopter come into a base where they had it was all set up, diapers, everything that the people would need. They had this whole station set up to take things to people or for people to come get stuff. And then there was no fly zone. Nobody's supposed to be going in it. It was a whole thing. And so there's several videos about it. This black military one comes in and starts trying to come in and land. They won't let it. They're telling it to go. It goes down low, starts tearing everything up, and then it flies off. So it goes in and just destroys their place, and then it flies off. It's like, people, you got to understand who we're fighting here. Like, they're fighting us. Whether you want to fucking wake up and see it or not, they're fucking they're killing us. Like, it's so fucking mental. Like, they are motherfucking killing people for land and resources. They already said in the 30, which people should have got off the 25 and got on the 30. They're going to wipe us out. It said it right on those fucking grindstones or whatever the fuck. They put it right out there in public. How many of us that they were planning on taking out. They've said it in their goddamn agenda, if people were reading the right one. And how many and how they're going to do it. And I kind of am thinking that the towers has something to do with moving the storm around at this point, is it don't have anything to do with our cell service. Like, that's just idiocracy. Like, anybody who's been out driving and sees, like, those fucking things have nothing to do with it. You can be surrounded by them way out in the middle of nowhere and you got no fucking service. Then they've got those everywhere, way out in the middle of nowhere. There's Farmer. Well, guess what? He's got one right by his house. Like it's fucking, and he's probably got fucking prostate cancer or lung cancer or something, and he just doesn't even know. And he's already been spraying the chemicals because the government won't buy his food unless he puts these certain chemicals on. It's like it's a fucking madhouse, man. And people just keep on going and keep on going. There was a girl who was talking about this autoimmune thing and how sick she is, and she's talking about all these other people and this PCO, all this stuff, and how it is to do with that. And so I said in her comments, it's chemicals and stuff. And she's like, oh, yeah, I know. So she knew she's trying to get other people. But when you go in and read in the comments, there's so many people, I wonder if it could have to do with the stuff in the sky. Like it's just clicking on. It's just like, so see, these different ones have to be out there because people hear that and they're like, wow, that is a lot of sicknesses. What do we all have in common here? What do we have in common here? So then, people have to click it in. They have to realize. And so that's the awakening. Just realize. So, anyways, we got all that going. So this woman who is like, she's off the fucking chain, unhinged, so pissed off. She's ready to come and kick everybody's ass who's spreading misinformation about this wonderful agency. How fucking lucky we are in trying to turn people against this administration, you motherfuckers. She's ready to fucking go. And I would just I couldn't even finish her thing. I was like, this is mental. Like, what in the fuck is happening to these people? Is one thing when they all start being, well, I'm not even going to follow her anymore. Like, she's not there for us, which is also shows their hypocrisy because they want her to be there for them because this is a big thing of this agent, the letter people. The letter people go to her. She's there for them. So the people who are MAGA, they are like, oh no, she's a progressive. She's there. She's all into the letter agency. She's out there promoting, transhuman, like all that kind of shit. And so she is a leader in their district. And which, by the way, that is just happens to be District 12 that they just, there's a whole thing about that. It's where they filmed the movie where it was just destroyed. So anyways, so she's ready to come and start fucking taking people down. And for this, we're turning people against this wonderful administration, this perfect fucking agency that's there for people in this time of crisis. We are spreading misinformation. We are total idiots. And she is fucking done with it. And this, and see, we're all getting to this point of like, I'm fucking done with this shit. So we're all reached that point of this, it's boiling over, man. It's boiling over. And, but the weirdness in theirs, it's like, what are you basing this on? This is so fucking weird. So you got all these people all day long. Like my whole fucking TikTok is nonstop crisis. People and it's not just the fucking, because now over in Florida, they aren't just cleaning up. They were cleaning up, which made no sense to me. Like this mad world of mental illness. They're cleaning up to get ready for the next one. It's like, what the fuck? Are you guys listening to the news? Are they not telling you? Because I heard it loud and clear as Helene was going through, 2 were bumpering up. Like, what in the holy hell are you cleaning the fuck up? Like, this is craziness. Now they're all like, oh, and all our stuff's out, and we're trying to clean out. And it's like, okay. As any awareness, like, what in the holy hell is happening over here? Like, have they fried y'all's brains? Like, what? So that is frustrating. And then, and people is last minute. No planes, no planes, no trains, no fucking auto, nothing. You're stuck. And then this is not survivable. And people are just like, well, yeah, I guess we're just going to come together with our neighbors. Okay, we'll just have a drowning party, I guess. Like, this is fucking so horrible to watch this shit. It's like, fuck, man. God damn, you just want to go shake people awake. So and then then you're going to see them all in crisis. And somebody died and they lost this and that. It's like, oh my God, everybody wake up. We're at the drama point of this awakening. Like, believe you me, this is about to get intense. I just saw another video. This one I just saw right before I started this. It was the last one I saw. I've seen so many. So the sulfur smell is in Oregon. Now, people in Oregon are saying, what's going on? Are we about to have the volcano go? What's happening? Because the sulfur smell that keeps being all these chemical smells. How long have I been saying about these fucking smells outside? And so now they've got so all the way up the Pacific Northwest. And I haven't heard people in California seeing it yet, but I'm sure that that will be next. But the biggest part of the fault line that the scientists are watching is right outside of Oregon. There's the plates have shifted where there is these things, I can't think of what they're called, but they're like these smokestacks of coming. It's like coming up from somewhere else. This water shooting up, or smoke. I don't know. It's something. These things have opened in the ocean. And so they're very concerned and watching, and it's this shifting, because this is all shifting. The planet's rolling over. There's nothing we can do about it. And the scientists are idiots, and the doctors are fucking idiots, and the government is fucking sellout, fucking pedos, and the people who do know what the fuck's going on don't want us to know, and they want us to fucking all die off because they're trying to do a reset because they think somehow it's going to save them, which is not. Everything is going to turn in our favor, and these motherfuckers are going down. So the back on this woman's thing. So anyways, back on the volcano earthquake, like that's a daily thing over here. Like to me at this point, it's like, fuck, it could be today. It could be every time you lay down to go to sleep. Well, it could be tonight. So if it goes off tonight and I get evacuated in the middle of the night, what do I grab? What do I do? You know, like we gotta be prepared. Like I got flashlights. I got flashlights sitting around the house now. Oh, I'm ready. I have flashlights. I got candles. I've got food. I don't know. For the food, to me, I've got peanut butter crackers and I have a bunch of chicken legs, so I could cook those out on the grill, even though my grill is fucking haphazard at this point. That everything at my house is waterlogged. My bathroom is shifting. The floor is something, like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I've got a heater back in the room with my one clothes because I went back there and my shoes were getting moldy. So what in the fuck is going on in this fucking place? Fuck, man. And whatever with my bathroom, like, I don't know if the tub's about to fall through or what the hell is going to happen. It's just like, the universe is like I just got trust. Like, they know what the fuck's going on. Like, there's nothing I can do about this shit. You know, like, something. I know something's going to happen. I've just got to trust, just like that drive, that horrific drive to go down and do my explant. Trust. It's like, I'm working on my trust here. So and it's daily because I'm in this subjugation zone or whatever of the fucking several volcanoes, fucking earthquakes. And I was looking at that map yesterday because another one came up, and this person had a couple of different maps, and so I was really zooming in on my place, and it totally looks like, if you look at the map thing, the part of Washington State, so where it has the little peninsula thing and then it goes over, that is right up where I'm at. And that would be down where Seattle, like all of Seattle, all of that coastline. But see, that peninsula thing is kind of what's going to save my ass over here. And so that the water will come up, it will go past that. I don't know how far it's going to come up. But when I was looking at the mountain range, it was like the mountain ranges are going to be the thing. Even though you can't just be like, and it's wild, is because Dolores Cannon was even talking about that the army and stuff these generals and stuff were retiring up in the high Appalachian Mountains. Then you go up in these mountains and they're trying to wash these people out, killing them and stuff. I still feel a hope for the people who are in the high mountains that they can't get to them, that those people are survivors, because you can't live like that without, knowing how to fucking get some shit done. Because if you haven't, I would say there's a movie that, because when I moved out here, and I'm still in a neighborhood, and I thought I was not moving to a place that was going to be snow. I thought I was leaving bad weather and coming to a place that was very, was supposedly, when I read the thing, it was always between 35 and 75 here. I was like, oh, perfect. Fuck. Yeah, right. So the weather, This is not what they said. Okay, but down on the low mountains, which I mean, they could still, like, I've been trying to figure, like, where are the dams around here? And to seeing how the water rushes, like, I know how the water rushes through my yard because uh, I made paths. I went with the water in my yard and I made it, it's like part of my garden thing. So um, so whatever goes, like that can be a thing. And then all these big giant trees can wash down and take out a whole thing. So I can't sit here and say, oh, for sure, I'm going to be here. They can fucking still take out this whole place. And I don't know. And they can fucking, I mean, they're doing all this developing. They can easily hit a gas line. Oh, well, we didn't know that was there. So anything can fucking happen at any moment. Like a construction crew could show up Monday morning at this fucking house over there and blow us all fucking up. Like, who knows what the fuck? They can crash goddamn plane into us. Anything could go at any time. So nobody's safe. And running from the inevitable doesn't make any sense. And even when it's really scary and you're in a certain situation, you got to also remember that it's it's going to affect all different people in different ways. Just because you're at the situation, you may not be going to be affected like the other people are going to be affected, because a lot of this stuff has to do with their awakening and stuff too. And I think some of the people being more awake when some of the stuff goes on is so that there's people who are the helpers, the people who can help people because they could see it coming. They knew what was happening and stuff. So anyways, it's all different levels and stuff like that. So and anything can happen. You can't run and hide from what's going to go. And that's where, my guides are always like, you just got to learn how to trust. Even if fucking trees are falling down around, it doesn't mean they're going to hit into you. It's like the movie is going, and you got to get into that kind of idea of jump over the trees and stuff, I think. I don't know. Just go at it like you're a cartoon character, like you're Bugs Bunny or something, as shit starts going down. Like, I don't know. There's like there's no escaping in your car. There's nowhere. I mean, I totally feel for these people in Florida, but it's fucked because then we're going to see them all being like, all these people are going to be dead and stuff. It's fucked, man. It's so fucked. So tragic. There's just so much trauma and tragic, even though I know that this isn't even fucking real. Like, this is how much this virtual reality feels real. Like, fuck, sucks, man. Seeing all this horrible, sad stuff happen to people. And they just have no clue. Have no clue what's going on. And so anyways, I'm back on this one lady. So she's fucking losing her mind and saying, she's ready to take everybody on who's spreading misinformation. And that is the thing that they were attacking Mama Todd on. She's spreading misinformation. And that's what was really confusing me when I was hearing all these videos. I was like, what in the world misinformation is she spreading? And then when I heard her actual video, I was like, all I hear her say is how mad she is. That she's so mad. She's just fuming mad over how these people are being treated over there. Nobody's helping them and stuff. So her simply saying that nobody's helping these people who are in this situation over there, which that's 100% true. That's what I'm saying. You could sit there and watch videos for an hour straight and you will fucking see video after video after video after video of what's going on over there. And there is nobody coming to help them. I mean, they're already bulldozing through. They're already bulldozing. Like, there was a girl who went to go do a cleanup, and she showed the mess the day before, and they were walking through it trying to figure out, because it's huge. Like, you've got just everything ripped up, houses ripped up, cars, everything just all ripped up, and then all of it slams up against like a shoreline or something. That's how, like, they find 100 dead people in one pocket. But one of the horrible things is all of that stuff churning and stuff is ripping people apart and stuff. So I can see, like, like, fuck. I mean, and they got to do something, because the animals that are survived are coming in and eating because it smells. So they're bringing more animals in. Like, they have to do something. Like, it's cruel and horrible for this bulldozing thing. Like, this is also just so tragic. But then what are you going to do? Leave all these dead, rotting people for months and have all these animals out there attacking people and stuff? And I would think people would start getting sick with all that rotting flesh and stuff. Like, what's so weird is we're not even flesh and blood, but yeah, somehow in this storyline, in this virtual world, it plays out that way. So it would rot and other things would come and eat it. Oh, which by the way, if you really are into turkey legs, like if you go to the fair and you get those turkey legs and stuff, it's not turkey legs. It's really pig legs. So they've been tricking people, telling them they're eating turkey when they're really eating pork. And that's very serious because there's people who don't eat pork for religious reasons. So and there's lots of vegetarians that don't eat pork that eat birds. Like I did. I used to eat birds, and I didn't eat. Uh, which somebody made a good point of this too, is why is it that a pig, I think this is Saturday Night Live. I think Saturday Night Live, there was a bunch of clips. I think they were really saying some good stuff the other day, these clips I saw. But he's like, why is it called uh, a cow until we're going to eat it? And then it's called beef. Why is it called a pig until we're going to eat it? And then it's called pork. I was like, good point. Because a chicken's a chicken, a fish is a fish. Like, why? It's like that they dehumanize it. They don't want us to see, that we're killing smart, kind beings, like we're consuming them. And I think that is a part of like this flipping things around and this, the animals consuming the people and stuff. Like there's this everything is switching and there's these different energies and different things that are going to play out. So it's, I don't know. It's sad, but what's so weird. So okay, and then when you break it down, okay, well, Mama Tot, she's very Southern, so I would imagine she lives in the South, and so she's going to have her heart is going to be in the South, and so she probably has connections, to family members and stuff. Oh, this one too. I gotta say this one real quick. This one, I don't think I said on here yesterday, but I think I said on the other one. This blew my fucking mind. And this is exactly what I've been talking about for so long. And that's why I got to interject this one in here real quick. So through all this stuff, through all these things coming up in social media, it's provoking a lot of painful things to come up in people. And so you got all these people seeing all this stuff going on with Diddy, and so it's bringing up all their pain of their abuse and different things. So you got all these stories and testimonials going of people like, oh my gosh, this is so hard watching this. This is bringing all this painful stuff up for me. So you got all that being purged out of people, bringing it in, see how the awakening works. All of this is a shift. And then you have these people who are let me think what I was saying. So the people who are bringing that up. Okay, so then you have these other people who are bringing this to the surface about I don't know. I keep getting lost. I'll just keep going back to this other thing because I think it fixes itself. So the lady who so Mama Tot, then she has connections to people in the South. So then she would be, and she probably, with her size of following, she probably has a lot of people who follow her, and then they live in certain areas, and they probably are all over in her fucking comments and stuff saying what's happening. And so she's probably not even seeing all the videos. But for those of us who are fucking FYP, our whole fucking TikTok is swarmed with these videos of this tragedy of what's going on. And all these people crying, like all this horrible shit, man. Horrible shit is happening. And the government is not coming in. It's not helping them. It's not giving them anything. It's not giving them food. People don't have power. They don't have and there is a lot of stuff like this is not going to be able to be rebuilt for a long, long time. Like I keep saying, like I know this has something to do with like people need to be moving out of these areas, but the people who want to keep staying and fighting, whatever. It's every soul has its own program. It's running, its own destiny, and they interfere in trying to influence your program. But there's a certain program they can't. Your destiny. They can't, that's that. And so they're dodging our bullets too, because they don't know, they do know that's like who they've been looking for. People who it's like in the Bible stories, like where the Pharaoh would hear this guy's going to destroy them. Well, find him and destroy that child. And they put it in a basket and float it down the river. That is kind of like what still is like they're still looking for the people who are there to destroy them. There's a whole lot of people here to destroy them, and that they can't control this awakening because of how it occurs. It's us opening up is what creates a splash. It's like the water is opened up as we all do these what are those things called when you're a kid and you try and make the biggest splash that you can make, and you jump in and it's like a competition of who can make the bigger splash. It's called something, and I can't think of what it's called, but that's what I see happening. So when you think about the energy that was holding us, if you think of it as like being this closed in, like water holding this energy where people can't go outside of it because this interference. And then you have all this light coming in like a meteor shower on a micro macro thing, micro macro. So everything represents everything else. So you have all these beings coming in. They're carrying the light. They're going through the system. They're dive bombing into it and creating these explosive changes because it's all the people. We don't have to do anything to them. All we have to do is just be ourselves. And then it brings in all these other people of like, well, what is this thing you call yourself? How does it occur? What do you do to get there? And people start realizing like they're not living their truth. They're not being themselves. They are being a product of their environment, as something that they created that they thought would be presentable in this game. And then there's all these people who, were jumping in and being like, no, go, you're unique. You're yourself. You are here to be you. You're not here to be something different. So it creates a whole wave of energy that's what they can't control. So it's not like they could go out and find the one child that was going to destroy them. It was this whole energy, because this energy is the energy of change. And it's like all of that comes in, but it's all the people that create the change. It's not the people who dive in. They're just the catalyst. It's the people actually doing the work and making the changes, because everybody's the same. These ones are just reminding these ones of who they are. And so, because these ones are just more under the veil. So these ones splashing in causes a rift and then creates a tension. And that is where they are suppressing so much of us, because they don't want to see out there. So the people who do run across us, it's for a reason. Oh yeah, because this was something I wanted to say, was I had heard this girl talking one day, this was months ago, and there's all these different spiritual people, and start, oh, well, this, my guides or my download or whatever. And this girl was talking about the key holders. And so I was like, I could kind of see what she was saying, but I didn't get into all that, because the people get too up their own ass on this chosen key holder. Like they think they're better than other people. No, it's not how it is. So, the, that guy I was talking to this morning, the one who's been messaging me all night, I talked to him when I was up in the middle of the night. Then I tried to go back to sleep and went to sleep for a little while. If you can call it sleep. I don't even know what you call this stuff. Rest period with your eyes shut. Then, but he had been messaging me. And so I was talking to him, and then he was DMing me, because he's been in my comments all night. And I guess going through my videos, he was just so excited. He said that he had found me because, I don't know, there's a part, I think, of the spiritual thing is, that is missing in a lot of people, and they start having that awareness of that. And then when you find that to plug into, then it's like, okay, now, somebody's finally speaking in my language. And so it's like, you find people on your own vibration, then you just feel like, it's so nice to finally be able to, because otherwise it's like you're just going through static until you find something on your vibration, which is so irritating when the people come in and try and tear you down out of your vibration, because you are important to all the people who are at your vibration. And these people come in and they want to change you and be rude and tell you need to do this or you need to do that. But that is, but me being me is what pulls the other people towards me who are in the same vibration. If I start changing, trying to please this person, then I'm no longer myself. then I'm not pulling in the people who are at my vibration. I'm pulling in the people who are at that person's vibration. So you got to be true to you throughout all of your stuff. And anyways, all these people are going in on this Mama Tot thing, and they're telling her that she's spreading misinformation. Well, there's a whole group of us who are seeing, like, what misinformation is she spreading? She's like, this is right in your fucking feed all day long. Like, what is your feed? How are you not seeing this? It's backwards. He's been doing this lately, but it's weird because Morty did it too. He acts so much like Morty. It's weird. It's really weird. He's so cute. The neighbor saw him yesterday, and she's like, oh my God, he's so cute. He's so cute. He's really cute. That's probably why they have a big old price tag on him. Let's give him a minute. So, well, he'll keep doing it. So he can do this for a while. It's like, I think they get themselves worked up, and they keep doing it because they get themselves, because that's how I broke Max. Max was doing that when he first came, and it was like anxiety. And I was, dude, just relax, calm down. Relax. You're okay. Just relax. You're okay. See, it's some kind of nervous thing, I think. So, anyways, that's how I broke Max, because Max was doing it all the time too. So, and he doesn't never do it anymore. And when Archie starts doing it, Max runs over like, what's happening? What's happening? Oh yeah, and another thing that Archie does is, if you've ever seen those French bulldogs that start talking and screaming and stuff like that, he starts doing that. If I leave him, if he's in the house by himself, or he'll go back in this one room and get himself locked in there. He does it over and over and over. And then if I don't rush over there and hurry and let him out, he starts doing it. It's the funniest thing, this weird screaming communication. But now he's trying to, because Stella uses whining so much as her communication. So they've all picked up on that. Well, if we whine, she'll listen. So I'm trying to break her of her whining. It's like a lot of stuff. But it's, you see the holes, like different things bring in the areas that you need to work on. Like Stella needed to hear no sometimes. Like she was spoiled. Like my kids kept telling me she's so spoiled. And so anyways, so you got all these people who are calling Mama Tot a liar and stuff like that. And then they're so disappointed because she would be there for them when they needed somebody to build them up. But then look how they turn on her. So they're not there to build her up, even when at a time when she's really distraught. Like she was really showing emotion. And most of her videos, she doesn't show real emotion. I think she did when she had her son be murdered. But then she went right back to, where to go eat lunch and what shoes to wear when you do it and stuff. And then apparently building up the letter group. I don't know. Like I said, she didn't come across my feed until all this drama started occurring. And then I guess my feed is all built on drama. Always in these other people's feed. But for them to say that there's nothing happening just shows how cut off they are from reality. That's where it's like, what are you talking about? Nothing's happening. What are you talking about? She's lying. Then they even go a step further and say it's all misinformation. That is this cult, this MAGA cult is making all this up. We've created a storyline and we've made it up, and that we are trying to misinform people and lie to them to turn them against the blues before this, November situation, which is absurd to even be thinking that we would be having any kind of one of those kinds of things with all of these stuff going on. It's absurd. But you couldn't say that because these other people really want to get this other guy in. But it's like the guy was in the whole fucking time. He can't, because these other people are in control. We gotta have these other people be out of, like, we have to have this play out. These other people have to go down. However it's going to play out, they have to go down. Then we get to have the leadership, but the leadership is just going to be turning us in a new direction. And it's going to be, we're going to be going smaller government. We're not going to go back to this dependency of this artificial idea that these people are there to protect us and take care of us, feed us, and provide for us and stuff. And all we got to do is give them a little bit of our money. And then they need a little bit more, and then all of a sudden they're sending it here, sending it there. It's like, okay, something's going on with this. So anyways, But that all has to fall apart, and that would be the guy who's going to take us through that part. Because the people, but see, that's why they need this TDS to be broken down, because these people will not, they can't take his leadership. It will create more chaos. That's, I guess, what this quantum computer thing has been putting out there. But it all has to do with the awakening, because even some of these other people who are just blindly following him, they need to wake up. And I think that's why he says so much weird stuff sometimes. It's how far will you follow him? Because there's some people who are just blindly following him, and we can't have that. So everybody has to get to a rationality of following themselves. And there's a whole bunch of people out leading in a whole bunch of different ways. You don't just go all in on this whole thing. You don't just become it's like like Donald being the car when somebody gets married, and then everybody ties their cans on. It's like you can't just attach like that to another energy. You have to be able to be, another car. Like, we all need to be our own vehicles. We can't just drive, and we can't just attach to his. Well, he's got it going on. Let's just tie on. So anyways, and then when you don't like your vehicle, you got to work on it. That's a whole nother thing. So many people who are just aging and getting sicker and sicker and sicker don't realize, like, that's a part of the attacks, people. That's a part of the trick. So with these people exposing themselves and showing these sides of themselves, the hypocrisy that they want you to be there for them, but they're not going to be there for you. They really, it's very important to them that you are in alignment with them on everything, political, everything. Like, you cannot be different than them, or they will go all in, cancel, attack, whatever, because that's what they're, this big, show of this cancel and attacking. And so yeah, they're all going all in, but then they're also showing that they're completely distant from reality and from what's really happening to real people in the world, because they're saying it's not really happening. And, and I don't know what, I mean, it's weird. Like, I know that the news, because I've seen enough of these clips, the news is trying to claim everything that goes well. The news is trying to say, oh, the government did it. The government did it. But the people on the ground are saying, there's no fucking government here. We're doing it. And then they're taking claim. When we go find, like, one guy, he found like a baby or something, rescued this little baby. I think there was a mom who gave birth during the whole thing. They rescued her. There's been some really crazy good rescues. And when those happen, then the news goes on and says how lucky we are. This letter, the 4-letter agency and the government is there to do all this wonderful stuff. And so I would assume that's where they're getting their information, is off the news. And these are the same people who tell you to go back and watch Fox. It's like, what? Oh God, this awakening is gonna be like, they're so quick to tell you that you are a cult, you are brainwashed and stuff, and it's like, you just have no idea what's coming, do you? No idea at all. And so when all of a sudden they see it, so in those girls' comments, I try to say, like, this isn't lies. This is really happening. How are you not looking at this stuff? And how are you so disconnected from the people that this is happening to? And calling them liars and stuff? Like, fuck, man, that is so fucking... If that was happening to them, they would lose their goddamn minds. Like, you're not allowed to fucking misgender them, or they'll lose their goddamn minds. They'll fall apart crying. Do videos, get everybody else on board, because, like, we're also fucking hateful, because, I don't know. We need to just be like, they, them. You see somebody who you're just not sure, they would prefer to be called they, them. They don't want to be called any kind of gender. So that's where we need to go with it. And it seems like the weirdest thing to not want to have that identity, to just be a they or a them. You're just a they, you're just a them. But that's what they want. So, and then they'll lose their minds if they don't get it. But all these things that these people have pushed is about to flip back on them, and you can see it happening. Like, they're so distant, they're so cut off, they're so supportive, and it's all built off of this false influence by media, I assume. I don't understand how we there could be so many of us seeing this, and how they could be in such denial of it and not seeing it or whatever. I told her, what is it? Go on your social media. It's all over the place. This is really happening because, oh, that's what I said. Because something is happening for you. Because they're saying, her and this other girl in this comments. And then this is also because there one girl, she was like, oh, the 750 is just the start. And weeks later, they'll send you, like, we received another 8,000. What the fuck is that going to do, for one thing? And why in the world do people really believe that there is just these rescue people out there for us? Like, there's just these rescue organizations. They're coming in to save the day. They're going to give us back what we lost. No, that's what we're about to find out. So we're about to have some big, hard lessons here. Like, I don't understand how people's minds work to think that there's any insurance company or any agency that could have the money to do all this. The money that's going to come from it is all the gold that was confiscated. That money is going to be what's going to rebuild it. And all of their other money, their money has all been, whatever, done. I mean, their money is emptied out. Like, the Federal Reserve and stuff was emptied out a long time ago. And they've emptied the Vatican. There's a whole thing like about, and that I swear was off Charlie Freak. This is like in 2020. They went and they took these planes and they went and got all this gold. There was like 600 planefuls of gold that left the Vatican. So they've confiscated all the gold that was being hoarded away from us. That's what's going to be rebuilding everything. That's what's going back to the people. Not this fucking money bullshit. Like, who gives a fuck about their goddamn fucking shortchanging us? Fucking bullshit. And, oh, yeah, we're going to help you. We're going to keep you on the line. That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep you on the line. We're going to keep sucking your energy out. Kind of keep you frustrated, probably running you in circles. And these people just like, oh, yeah, they're so great. It's like, those motherfuckers that you think are so great are first ones on the goddamn ground, scooping up those motherfucking kids and selling to the biggest bidder, you fucking idiots. It's like, I just want to fucking scream. And so anyways, they'll get to find out for themselves. And then they can feel as small as they were going to feel. And because they're out there supporting us, telling us that we're all evil because we're not supporting these people. And that we're calling these people out. It's like, you guys are foolish. You can't even see what's going on. I don't know what the fuck you spend your days looking at, but you can't see what's really happening. So anyways, it's getting more and more intense. And there is a lot of, MAGA folk who are jumping on to stand up for Todd, even though she is heavy in the blue because of the cancel culture and what these people do and how most people who have ever spoken out on social media in regards to anything conservative have been attacked by these people. And these people all believe it is this cult thing, this, like we're all, for them to publicly cheer when all these people are being murdered because they're racist anyways, like, who gives a fuck? It's like, if we're going on that, like, you guys don't have any care about other human beings. So what are you? What does that make you? You think these people don't have the same respect for darker skinned people, so they deserve to die, but you don't have any respect for these people. So what it's like, it was something that number two said to me a long time ago, and I just thought it made so much sense. And I was probably bitching. I was a drama queen for sure. But yeah, I was probably bitching about something. Well, I hate that and blah, blah, blah or something. But he was like, oh, well, I hate those people that hate those people. And I was like, oh my God, that's so true. It's so true. All it is just spreading the hate. And so, we don't want to get into that kind of, being the same that they are. They want to be hateful. Then that is that kind of thing. They go low, you go high. And that is true. Like, when they want to keep on spreading the hate, we can't meet their hate, even though we could meet it and match it. But we don't want that to be the energy. We don't, and that becomes a battle zone. The more that we put down, the coat over the pond so that they can all walk on, and not so that we can pull it out from under them so they drown. It is so that they can all walk on, because they all need a safe space to find that point of origin of self. to get into that point of vulnerability, because something is up in their programming. Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is like mental. Like, I'm not trying to say like these people are just assholes or something. Like, there's something weird. And there's a weird in their programming and stuff, because it makes no sense. Like, you have these people who are all over TikTok, when all of TikTok is all about this situation and how devastating it is. And then you don't see any of that. And you're going to just talk about that all these people are liars and garbage that should be pounded and they deserve what they get. Like, oh man, it's just so weird. So that was really getting to me last night. It was getting me so mad. Like, I really wanted to just fucking. I did a couple of videos. I did say a couple of things, but it was like I want to just argue with these people. I want to wake them up. I want to fucking tell them, and there's nothing you can do. So that's where you got to pull in your own safety net. You got to pull into yourself and be like, you got to let go. You got to walk yourself through it. You got to let go of, and see, like, why am I getting so upset? There's nothing I can do about this. These people have got to, they're going to all play this out. And then there's so many people are going to be so hit, so fucking smack dab hard with their own fucking, their own, what is that called? My stomach will start growling and totally interfere with my thinking too. Whatever it is. You guys probably already know what I was going to say anyways. Even though I can't think of the word, it probably already popped into your mind. But anyways, the people. Let's see. What else I was going to say about the people. So we have the the fire in Wyoming. Like, to me, like 75,000 acres, and it's not even getting any attention. Like, it's so wild. It's like so low key as they're just destroying these places. In Wyoming, man. Fuck. God, what a beautiful place. And they're just fucking burning it down and all the fucking wildlife. Like, there's some of these places where a lot of people don't live, like, where it's people who are like ranchers and mountain men and stuff. And the mountain men are getting shit done. Like, they're not fucking around waiting for any goddamn government. And that's one thing, like I've said about these Appalachian people anyways, they've stayed away. They weren't lured in. They weren't dependent on the government. They're very independent people. And so, yeah, they're going to step in for each other. But you still have a lot of people who are, city folks. There's still a lot of people in the lower parts that got affected. And the places are so destroyed. Like, when you see the footage, it is mental. It is mental how much damage was done so fast. And then the whole thing with the dams and just knowing what they're doing, and then they're burning this place down, and it has got so much wildlife in Wyoming. And so seems like it's like by Laredo or something. I'm not really even sure, but the fire is really destroying a lot of good things, a lot of natural places, nature. And it is like they want to destroy these places, and then they want to build back. Like, they don't want us to be connected to nature. They don't want us to feel connected to that. They want to destroy it. Nature is what they are after, and we are nature. And that's what they're out to destroy. And they live off of artificial, like, because the dependency on our blood, and not just ours, because they prefer black people blood. I think because the melanin it's like liquid gold. White people blood, I think, is more stagnant to them or something. I don't think it's as good. I don't know, because I'm not gonna fucking be eating people and drinking their blood, but whatever with these people who do, that they really prefer dark people. And that's why the dark people are always at so much risk. And the it's just as there's so much. Okay, yeah, there was a video, this girl, and I think this was right after I saw a movie like this. Definitely there's a lot of this. So this girl, she was Boston. She's in Boston. And she went on maybe a business trip or something. So she was by herself in Boston. This is a big thing. Like, if you travel by yourself, you really got to watch out where you go. Even in some of these hotels, concierge and stuff are involved with this trade. Like, there's this really huge trade going on with people. And so the people who go and travel by themselves are at high risk. And so this girl was traveling by herself. She went down to the bar, in this bar or whatever, and I think she was out going on a tour or something. And so she went in to get a drink, and she got a bottle of water. So it was a bottle of water. All I had to do was be open. And so she's sitting there drinking this bottle of water. So she gets her bottle of water. She takes a swig. She sets it down. And right away, the bartender runs over, grabs it, takes it. And she said there was 2 bartenders. One of them runs over, grabs the water, takes it, and hands her another one. And they're both like in this together or something. And right away, she thought, okay, that's weird. And it was like immediately, as soon as that all happened, she felt the drugs hit her. And she knew that she was drugged. And so she knew that there was an issue. And the thing is that I've been trying to tell people, like, there's bartenders out there who are part of this. They are doing this on purpose. In any place of the big cities that you travel to, you just got to figure that they're all cities, all of the cities are set up on a grid of this human trade situation. And there's like some of these bartenders or whatever could be plants, but some are people who just go down and get a job and then are willing to take a little extra money for doing a little, making a call here, putting a little thing there and stuff like that, or just turning a blind eye. So it's going to be so much as things are exposed that people are going to find out their neighbors were failing them. There is going to be so much of that. And I've been seeing that already go. Like I said that's going to be the biggest thing. People are all thinking about, like, the cabal's going down and stuff. You're going to see who was holding the cabal up is like your doctors, your lawyers, your journalists, your realtors, the developers, city council, judges, police. So all these people that were holding up this group, that is going to be, they're going to go down. So the people who you think are the cabal are going to be your fucking neighbors and shit. So it's going to be intense as people start really realizing, like, fuck, man, you were doing that at your job? You were letting that happen? You weren't telling anybody? And there's going to be, like, when they say certain people won't be able to walk down the street, it's not just the rich and the elite. It's going to be people who, took a payoff. Like these people are going to be exposed. Like, people who are doing these things are going to be exposed. This is a time in the universe, and it can seem like horrible, like, oh my God, the universe is so mean. God is showing this, and but it's a part of it. It has to be. It has to be revealed. It's a part of the light coming in. And whatever you're uncomfortable with, the light revealing is stuff you got to work on. And so the light's going to reveal the truth about us all. Like, I can totally see on as things like, I've got some hypocrisy in me. I've got some judgmental shit in me. Like, we've all got this stuff. But we have to learn how to manage it. Like, it's there. But what do you do with it? Do you feed it? Or do you try and... you don't have to make it all go away. You don't need to make part of yourself go away, but you gotta have the awareness of it. So at least you are working with it. You're not just steering with one hand. So so anyways, all of this stuff, that is being exposed about people that they're going to feel so much shame and humiliation about is really the universe doing them a favor to bring it to the surface, to expose yourself to you so that you can do something about it. There's, the time is up on carrying this stuff through your soul's journey. This is a letting go of a lot of stuff. And this is a purging out of a lot of energy. That's why so many weird things are all playing out. It's all going to be all these things going full circle. And there's a lot of destruction that has been in certain cities and towns and stuff for a long, long time. And so it's all going to, go full circle. And then plus we have on top of that, the earth is, shifting gears. It's moving around. And so what was above will go below, and what was below will come above. And and so our history will go down. The history that comes up will be the history that moves us forward. So it will give us not as new identities, but clarity to our identities. And so the history that will come up as everything shifts will be what we need to move forward. But the things that go down are the things that we need to let go of. And so we need to be able to move through this like gracefully as we move and transition into this other space and time. And this, the transition is for your benefit, but so many people, it's going to be so hard for them to face themselves. It's going to feel like God's out to get them, and everybody sees them, and the humility and the anger at themselves and stuff like that. Because ego can be a bitch, man. It's a bitch. And then this dark energy that so many people have such huge, heavy attachments to dark energy, man. So much, and they feed it. And they just don't realize, but we just have such a dark place that we've been existing in. So, again, no shame on the people that, rely on the dark energy. The dark energy, when you look at it that way, is really giving them a saving balance to keep them, to keep them afloat in this life. But they do need to recognize who's been holding the float for you. If dark energy has been holding it, then you need to, you can be friends with it, but you don't need to feed into it. Like, you don't need to go at a battle with it. I think you got to be a lot more gentle. Like, it will go, oh, the other day. There's been so many things I keep seeing. It's so weird. But right here, this is really tall. I think it's like 25 feet tall, the ceiling, or 20 feet or something. It's one of those kind of ceilings like this with the big windows on the front of the little cabin, my doghouse. And, right in between, so it's 2 windows. Well, it's 4 windows. Because there's these 2 and then there's 2 above. And so there's like this thing in the middle. And I was walking down the hall, and all of a sudden there was this person that was standing here that was like this, almost as tall as this whole thing. And it was like they were using that part to be their, because they'll use cover, like they're chameleons. Like they can use the shapeshifters or whatever, beings that are able to traverse through different realities and blend in. And so they use like the imagery around to blend in, but then you can see them more, and especially on the side of your eye you can see them. Like what got me was because I just saw somebody at the end of the hall, and then that reminded me. I came walking down, and but this person, which they looked kind of like not scary at all, like I don't know, like Opie off of that show, like Ron Howard as a kid or something, and they have blue pants and a red shirt. But didn't, I don't know. I feel like there's so much that we're in observation about. Like there's so many beings that are observing us and watching us. And sometimes they get drawn into our energy and try and get closer, but they're not here to hurt us or anything like that. So anyways, but it was trippy because it was fucking huge. And I was like, see, there's just beings that are just big. They're just big. It's not, because I just heard this, some of these people, this one was something about, I think, something with the blood. Because there's a whole thing, like there's a lot of things with the Rh negative, which it's very strange because I was married to all Rh negative people. So I know some Rh negative people, and they are not spiritual, but there's a whole group that is trying to preach that is the chosen people. It's like, okay. But so this person was saying something about, I don't know, there's so many different things. Is the cloning thing or something, but they're, the DNA, like I've been saying, and we all carry all these different DNAs. Our DNA is everything that you've ever been, is your code. And that's why they're trying to read into our codes and stuff, and they're trying to interfere and stuff. But you have a code of everything you've ever been. You know, maybe you've been a horse, but you don't need to be a horse right now. So anyways, the codes that the people run, and then these other people are trying to find them. And so this person, they were talking something about the with the codes and something with the blood or whatever. I can't even remember because I'm having too much of a merge with these. But the one thing that sticks out on with what she said was that the powers that be, the rulers or whatever, they were looking for the Nephilim, that they've been trying to find their DNA and get their DNA or something, something with that. And you know, I don't know, the everything is just other beings. Like there's this guy who is he's friends with the Bigfoots, and he's been friends with them for a long time. He hangs out with them, they hang out with him, and he is talking about that they are ancient beings that have been here since the beginning, that they are the first man, and that they came, and the first ones that he said they came with the Anunnaki, that the Anunnaki brought them as protection when they came into this place so that they could mine for gold, and that they are the original people. So I don't know if the Bigfoot was what they designed to, because something, but I don't think it's Bigfoot, especially if Bigfoot was brought here, because it's supposedly in the Sumerian tablets, what it says is that when the Anunnaki got here, that they started mining for gold, and it was hard because of the density of this planet, and it was too hard for them. It was like trying to walk through sludge, mud, and stuff. So it was too tiring. So they needed to have beings that were from this density to be able to do their work for them. And so they chose some intelligent animal, which by all thoughts you would think was some kind of an ape of some type, because the similarities with us with chimpanzees and stuff like that. So I would think that they took some kind of an ape, but who knows what they were like back then, what the animals were like, because the Planet of the Apes, I think, is trying to tell us something. And so then they went and took them into the labs and started taking DNA from other beings. Oh, she was talking something, I think, about the whites. There's so many people out there saying so much stuff, like, I don't even know. I'm sure everybody's running across it. But so they started doing all of this, taking this DNA from all these other beings. And supposedly it's like 13 different ones, like the reptilians, the Palladians, the Lemurians, the Syrians, like all these different beings were DNA. And I'm sure probably Draco too. And I don't even know what the Anunnaki are. I think they look like Vikings though. And so then they put all this DNA into these creatures, or into these animals, and then they started trying to merge them. Which there's a whole thing coming out about that, how long they've been doing that here with us, and that they have been merging us with all these different animals. But this thing that everybody was so concerned about, that was merging people with insects. When you were wondering what happened with all the lightning bugs, well, I guess apparently that stuff that lit up, they decided that we needed that inside of us or something. So it does something to I don't know. They've always been doing this. Like, this is what mankind has been, a science experiment for a long time. So that is, they're doing these merges still. But so it started out originally. And so whatever they were doing at that time, because in the Sumerian tablets, it says that the first one, then they didn't like it. And we were like, we were two animal grunting, groaning, and just humping on each other all the time. Like we were, you know, just like animals. And then so they tweaked it again, doing more DNA, and then they wipe them out. And I think it took like 3 times. And then they decided to let the animals evolve naturally. And that's when all the other beings had to step back aside. And then there's been other things. We'll find out more of our history, because there was a part where even though we were being used, it was we had to liberate ourselves. That was a part of the journey for mankind, was this liberation of self. And that's what we're going through right now. That's what the awakening is all about, is this liberation. But we have to face, what we are and who we are. And then not get caught up in that this lab created creature is who you are. It is just your vehicle. It's not who you are. You are your soul. That's who you feel. When you're feeling yourself, that's who you feel. The car you've decorated or tried to camouflage yourself somewhere in life is to hide who you are, but it is that you need to get to the point of being able to show who you are and get comfortable with who you are. So that is what all this awakening and this self-evolvement is, because we're evolving into being our true selves and not being this this manufactured facet of ourselves. And so the people who are being, see, every time when I get into this thing, it's always like, so the people, and then it's like, but what do the people do? Where do they go? What are they doing? And then so the people are here to evolve and to grow, and they can do this stuff that is going to be really hard, but they've just their ties to the 3-dimensional will restrict them more and make it more hard. The more you can tie in to your soul self, the more that you can tie in with this spirituality and seeing that you really haven't done anything wrong. You're not broken or anything. You just have to learn how to accept yourself and to accept everybody else. Because that's the biggest thing. And that is what we're seeing coming to the surface. And these people are full steam ahead. Like full steam ahead on the hate and division, man. And even people who you say you love, you'll turn on them in a fucking dime, man. So and these are the people who, like, you watch how you talk to them, because they'll lose their goddamn mind. So, these are all parts of themselves they're going to have to see. They're going to have to witness. And then these other people they're not off scot-free. Like, you've got a whole big old mess group of the people who are waiting on Jesus and all that business. And so you have, there's a lot of shit that's coming to the surface that people are going to be facing, which to me it even clarifies more that we're close to this clarification moment. The light's coming on, everybody's seeing the truth, which still, who knows? Is it going to be being nuked? Is it going to be a fucking earthquake? Is it going to be a tsunami? Is it going to be we've got more fucking hurricanes coming in, and it's going to be more destructive. I think we're going to see big changes over there at this storm, but I think that there's going to be something's going to happen over here on the West Coast. There's just way too much. I see these videos all the time of these people talking about the sulfur, the smells and stuff. And these are people who aren't conspiracy theorists. These are just people who are just like, is anybody else smelling this smell? Like, what's going on? And then, all of us conspiracy theories jump in and start saying, to me, everybody just needs to pay attention to that map. And I do feel a lot safer, though, seeing that map and seeing like, oh, okay, my place is still here. When I go up close on this map, my place should still be here, but that doesn't mean it's going to still be standing the way it's standing. I mean, my fucking bathroom's about to fall through my house. Yesterday, I took, the carport I used to have out over the car. So I got wood delivered yesterday. I build a little wood thing up close to the house because my wood shed is all the way at the back. So that's like where I keep the overflow of wood. But during the winter, usually I keep the wood up here, and then he'll come and bring more. And so I keep this little wood thing at the front full, and that's kind of my safety net, is the wood in my wood shed. And it still has some, but he's going to bring more. Oh, look at little Archie's here. Hold on. Oh. Okay, turn around. Hold on. Turn this way so I can see. Look at this face. So that wood back there is more my safety wood, and it still has wood in it, and it's where I've got all my sticks and all my starters. I've gone and gathered up so much sticks and stuff like that for starting the fires. So I have a whole thing back there. But so on this part up here, why was I even talking about the motherfucking wood? What the hell am I talking about that for? Was there a reason? I'll tell you one thing, though, that was weird. Maybe this is why it came back up to me, because I was really weirded out yesterday. Was that, so he came and brought the wood, and he brought his son. And this would be my 3rd year, I think, of knowing him. Would it be my 3rd winter of knowing this guy? He brought wood all last year. Maybe I met up with him the year before at the end of winter. He brought me wood. And then last year he brought me wood all winter. And then, so this would be my 3rd time of knowing him. And so his kids come with him sometimes and stuff. And throughout our conversations and stuff, I found out his wife and him had split up. So he only sees his kids sometimes. So on the weekends, when he can't just come and deliver all the time, because sometimes it has to do with his kids and stuff. And I even know, is about him and his wife splitting up and that whole drama and stuff. And probably, I was feeling like he probably didn't want me to talk about this stuff in front of his kid. So people are very much want to keep their kids sheltered and not have them worry and stress about natural disasters and stuff. So the son is up in the pickup, and he's throwing the wood down to his dad, and his dad's stacking it on my thing. And I'm to the side and trying to get some of the wood, but they're going so fast, like a machine. And I was kind of just getting in the way. Oh my God. And so, so I don't even like to be outside anymore. I swear to God, I just feel like I'm breathing in motherfucking poison. So anyways, they were doing the wood, and so I'm just kind of talking and trying to grab some pieces and put some on and stuff, but I'm kind of just in the way. So I was like, so what about what's going on over there in the mountains over in Appalachia? He had no idea. He didn't have any idea what I was talking about. And so then he said he's not on any social media. He doesn't do any of that. So there's literally people who have no idea what's going on in the world. And so he had no idea anything about that. And then I was talking some about it. And but people are just so much like, yeah, well, that stuff happens. These storms happen every year. Well, what are we going to do? And it's like, so... you can't talk about weather manipulation and stuff. To them, it's just normal. It's normal. And so I was like, well, it's super devastating. And then plus, because they're in the low mountains over there being washed away. And then here we are over here. It's like, that stuff can happen. And he's like, oh, no, nothing's going to happen over here. And I'm like, well, you got the tectonic plates moving and stuff. You got all these people smelling sulfur. You got the scientists are right outside of Oregon watching the plates because there's these, whatever they're called, fissures or something is blown. And there's a lot going on. There's earthquakes going up and down our coastline all day long, every day. And, but it was very much just like, oh, yeah, nothing's going to happen over here. There's nothing we need to worry about. It's just everything's fine and stuff. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is what it is, man. This is why. Fuck, God damn, all these people are just like so oblivious in the world. So just like, no, that's just the stuff that happens. No, this is the fucking reset. This is where you gotta wake up and pay attention. This is where it's, all hands on deck. This is where it's like, save yourself situation. But there's a lot of people who aren't here for, everybody's here for all different things. Like, when you talk to some of these people, it's like, fuck, I don't know. They're just here for this thing to play out, and they're leaving in one of the storms. Like, I don't know these people, so many people who just died. I don't know at what level of the being awakened they were, you know? But when you talk to all these people, especially over here by me, like, fuck, people are not awake at all. Not at all. Like, you cannot talk to them about real stuff at all. There's not a person over here that I can talk to about real stuff. They all have very limited perspective. And even people who, that know the government's bad, but they don't know this other stuff. Like, I don't know, it's frustrating. It's so frustrating, but then it's like your own frustrations are your own things to work on, It's not like I can change everybody else so I can feel happy. It's like I got to figure out how to find my happiness when everything that makes no sense, when everything is upside down, when people are oblivious. They don't even pay attention in life, and they think everything's fine. You just ignore it all, and everything will be fine. And so then I was like, well, that was so strange of a conversation. And I was thinking, maybe he just wanted to be that way, like, so his kid, because how could you be that oblivious? But I'd ask him, if he had seen the moon, because that was one thing last year where he had brought it up to me, and his kids weren't with him on that one. And he's like, yeah, I don't want to sound crazy or anything, but there's something weird going on with the moon. And so that was the first thing I said to him, because I had seen all these videos of people saying the moon's disappearing, all this weird shit with the moon. And so I had brought that up to him. I said, because he goes out in the forest in the mornings early, and so he's out there and sees all this stuff. And he was saying that things weren't in the right places. But when I asked him the other day, he's like, well, no, everything seems fine. So everything. And so I was like, okay, maybe he only talks a certain way when his kid's not with him. Maybe he doesn't want his kid to be scared of storms and stuff. Like, I don't know. Hopefully, like, god damn. Like, but man, that is what is going to be the chaos. Is all these people aren't expecting it. And they're not going to be prepared for what's to come. And I had said to him, one of the problems is all these places are washed away, all their ways to leave him over here where we're at, and we've got such limited evacuation anyways. And it was just like, yeah, there's nothing to worry about. Nothing. I was like, okay, this is spooky town. Like, fuck, man. There's nobody that, like, there's, yeah, I don't look at it that way. I look at it as like shit's about to go down, and if you're not ready for it, you're going to be surprised. And it's bad. It's real bad. Like, shit goes down and sweeps through and murders 65,000 people in one clean sweep. And and who knows with the fires, and then how many people are, this week is going to be rough, man. There's going to be so much more stuff that's going to go down this week. I would say this is going to be a week you want to be buckled up for. Be prepared. And I saw this video, this woman who's kind of shocked. So she's at the park with her 2-year-old or something. She's got a little toddler. They're sitting at the park. She bought a little Mexican dinner, and they're sitting at the park sharing this Mexican dinner. And so then she said all of a sudden this woman walks up and sits down uncomfortably close to her. And she's like really weirded out, like, and then all of a sudden the woman kind of leans in and is like, there's a man who's been following you for 20 minutes and he's lurking behind you, and we're very worried that he's about to do something to you. And the girl looks over real quick and sees this guy. They make eye contact. It freaks the guy out, so he takes off. But she said the look in his eye, she could tell he did not mean good stuff. He was there to do something, and she has no idea now what he was going to do. And the guy got freaked, And then the other woman came and walked up too. There was two women. And so he got freaked and went off. But the girl was like, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and he's out at the park about to do something bad right here in public at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But the thing that got me is like the people have got to be paying attention. People are not paying attention. Some fucking lurker is gone up on you and you're with your kid and you're just obliviously eating your food. Like, come on, people. This is what I'm talking about. And then these are people who they get attacked and all this stuff. And then we're all sitting here crying with them because everybody's crying because they got attacked. It's like, oh God. But then I know on the soul level, well, that's their story. That's their storyline. There's nothing we can do about it. We can't stop it. We can't change it. All we can do is sit back and watch all these storylines play out and go into it like it's a movie. Just keep on thinking, oh, this is their movie. This is their movie. This is their movie. And all these different things are playing out. And it really is creating heroes. It really is finding miracles. Really cool things are coming from some of these tragedies. And the tragedies are going to continue, though. And there will continue to be miracles and cool stuff. And then there's going to be this big shift that's going to turn us in the other direction. It's going to smack dab a lot of people. And they're not going to see it coming. It's going to flip their world upside down. And all this stuff is micro and macro. Everything is bleeding out. So everything is happening. And just like I said, there's part of our reality is going under while our history is coming up. And they want us to, they want to destroy all of this natural. Like they've already got, like they already had the patents. They already had that place all is that they were taking it. And people have been refusing to give it to them. So, and what do? They just wipe you out. It's the same thing that went on in Maui. This just keeps going and going and going. They say they want your resources and you say no. And another big resource, I guess, is in this phone thing. This quartz is that's so heavily in this land that they need for all this technology and stuff. So they want to make money, sell us $1,000 phone, so they're going to go kill all these people to get these resources. So, and they want to sell on their electric cars. And then people are like, well, I'll just stick with my car. Well, you do understand how they work, right? The gasoline becomes obsolete. Oh, that's just too bad for the planet. We can't do that anymore. Oh, you're only allowed a battery car at this point. And that's why I'm saying, I'm not going to get a fucking battery car. I'm going to get a fucking horse and carriage. They can fuck off with their shit. I'll go back to basics. And everybody's excited about these mules and donkeys and stuff that are going and taking these supplies. It's so fucking cool when you see them. There was even one guy who was out with these mountain goats climbing and taking stuff. But when you see these, that's how we got across this place. This is how we moved before, how people were able to traverse these lands and stuff, is having these donkeys and horses and mules and stuff like that, mountain goats, because that they can go through there. So anyways, it's exciting when you see that stuff and you see like, fuck, all we got to do is go back to basics. They want to keep us going through all their bullshit. Oh no, you have to have this now. You have to have that. Well, you got to have a smart one. You got to have this. All they want us to do is just keep buying shit and buying shit and buying shit. And so they got to keep on marketing it and coming up with other shit for us to buy. And then they got to make certain things obsolete. So we have to buy other things. So for these people who think like, oh, well, I'll just keep my gas car. That's not how they work. That's not how these people do. They decide what's going to be, and they'll make it a law. Like they would turn it into a law. You're caught having gasoline, you will be arrested. Like this is, and then they would create a whole thing. Oh, the people with the gasoline, they've been burning things down. That's why they're trying to keep the gasoline. They're trying to burn us down. They're after us. So then all the people are like, oh my God, we got to be scared of the people with the gasoline. Oh God, they're going to get us. They're going to get us. See how they create this fucking nonsense? So then you have people the people who are trying to go against them, these people are scared of them. It's like, so, but anyways, it's all going to start making sense to people because the lights are going to come on and everybody's going to see the truth and everybody's going to have to face their self and face their demons. And everything's going to flip everything the other direction because people are going to see the whole story. They're going to quit driving with one hand and yelling out the window with their fucking rolling the window down and just screaming out the window at everybody, telling everybody they're stupid asses. It's like, you need to fucking start doing both hands because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, these people have got to start. For one thing, you would think that they would go look into it some more. But that's how severe their programming is. They don't need to look into anything. They just know everybody's lying. These people are getting everything that they need at this disaster. There's not a goddamn problem happening, and we're all just trying to spread misinformation because we're trying to turn everybody against this wonderful administration that we're so lucky to have. And fucking goddamn Alexis is telling everybody that Kamala wins for the next 2 fucking elections. This bitch is going down. There's no fucking way. No fucking way. Like, I don't want to say, because I swear to God, I thought Joe was going to go down 2020. I thought January 2020, this shit was going to be over. Like, and then once it stretched out to April, then April 2020, we were like, for sure, this is about to be a rest. Like, there's no way it's going past this. Are you fucking kidding me? We're to the next point, and we got this Yahoo who's going to step in, and all the stuff being exposed about it. Like, who knows? Who knows how far this has to go to get people to wake up? I just can't even believe the blindless, mindless fucking sitting there saying these people are doing a good job and that they are fucking there for these people. And it's just, God fucking Jesus Christ. Ugh. I got to remind myself what we're doing here today. Learning how to love myself, which I can do pretty well. But learn how to love everyone else, even in their ignorance. Then, you know, it's what we got to do. And then, what, you know, figuring out how to make your day a good day, even when you're surrounded by ignorance. You just got to see, he just went back in that room. Oh, yeah, and he sees ghosts all over. Like, he's constantly just going and sitting and staring at something. And that's why I keep thinking, is that what he's going back there? So he can go and check on the ghosts back there or something? So he hasn't shut the door yet. So I would say if he had shut the door, you would hear him start screaming in a minute. But anyways, so, you know, I got to remind myself of what we're doing here sometimes too, you know, because I'm human too. I'm here learning the same stuff as everybody else. Is learn how to love yourself, how to love everyone, and how to have a loving day, because it's totally up to you. So I'm going to work on that. I'll talk to you later.